Right, Nikita, how are you getting on?
Not too bad, lad. Not too bad. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. But look, obviously this is going to be going on my YouTube. I know a lot of guys in my DMs are Irish themselves. So I kind of just
Right.
want to run through your journey, where you're at and whatnot. But look, just introduce yourself. What have you been doing at this point? Because how old are you now?
I'm 20, man. I turned 20 2 weeks ago.
Right, okay, right. So still young. What were you
Yeah.
doing when you left school? What did you go into?
Uh,
What sort of work?
yeah, when I left school, lad, it was just, construction job after construction job. I was laboring for a small bit. I was a tiler then for a small bit, a welder for a small bit. I was I was trying to figure out what was actually for me as such, but
Yeah. Because what was Because obviously now you're full time. Is it you full time closing now? Aye.
full time, man, 100%, yeah.
Yeah. So for you before, so you obviously you would have left school at what, like 16? Is that right?
No, I finished school at 17. So basically 18 normally, but I just turned 18 maybe 3 or 4 weeks after I left school.
Yeah. And then when you went into obviously like you said, there welding, Thailand stuff. What was your plans after school? Like, what were you wanting to do? Were you clued up on where you wanting to go, or
Oh man, I've never been so lost in my life. I like when college was out of the question altogether, university was out of the question. So I thought, I'd try a few trades. So I got a welding job above in a pharmaceutical, a plant basically. And I said, look, you know, people say these jobs are good, they're nice and handy, there's no heavy work as such. But I went above there and I mean, yeah, it was definitely easy, lad. It was too easy. That was the problem. I was sitting around the place all day long. I wasn't doing anything. I was on my phone more than I was actually working. So I spent probably 2 months at that, just working there. I didn't start any apprenticeship. So I spent 2 months of that, left that, and then I went laboring for the bones of a year. It was just like a mixture of everything, still trying to figure out, because I was getting a taste of carpentry, a taste of electricianing, a taste of grounds work and all that stuff. So I went laboring to kind of figure out, what was actually for me as such. And I did one tiling job and I said, look, I'm going to be a tiler. So then I was a tiler for the bones of 8 months, but I quickly realized, man, yeah, fuck, or, this wasn't for me either.
yeah? Because you obviously picked up that it wasn't for you at a young age. I think a lot of lads, especially your age, are kind of in that limbo mode where they're like, I'm just jumping from job to job. I know I was anyways. Like I fucking similar story, like concrete and welding, fucking chippy work. Like I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing in my life. So for you, even looking in the online space, had you tried anything online before, or was this kind of the first thing you went into?
No, man, I never really tried anything online as such. Yeah, I've heard about, I heard about crypto, drop shipping, all that. I might have searched up a couple of videos and stuff, but I never actually took that step, to start something. I mean, this was kind of the first thing for me as such.
Right, okay. Because a lot of people do obviously have bad experiences and stuff online. So literally the first thing you actually took that step into essentially worked for you.
Yeah, 100%, lad. And,
Right.
100%. And I'm happy it did as well.
Yeah.
It was, because if it knocked me, man, I'd spend what, another year working, another year of being lost.
Yeah, 100%. Fuck, I wish I started when I was like your age, like wasted a lot of time. For
Yeah.
you, even looking into this, when did you kind of come across it and what were your thoughts on the remote sales, the online space? Because obviously a lot of people are skeptical. I know I was anyways, and I failed a lot of times and I was disheartened. But for you finding success almost straight away, what was your thought process coming into it really?
Um, I guess, man, kind of, all that crypto, all that drop shipping, there's no skill behind it as such. It's literally anybody can do it, anybody can start up. Yeah, it's more of a gamble than anything, especially crypto, man. It's literally gambling.
Yeah.
So what I was kind of looking for then was something just skill based as such, something that was more concrete. I could take it anywhere. It was like, it's like similar to a trade, man. You can kind of take it anywhere as such, right? But With that came across remote closing, and man, I seen instantly, sales is a good skill. I mean, you hear all these online gurus or whatever you want to call them, Andrew Tate and all these boys, sales is what they talk about. They say sales is this foundation as such. So came across remote closing, man, and it kind of ticked every box for me.
Yeah. I think, like you were saying there, everyone talks about sales online, but then everyone's kind of promoting like an e-com trade and all this other shit.
Yeah.
Like, even for myself, I didn't know what remote sales was until I already fucked up a lot in the past as well. So,
Yeah.
even for you coming into it, did you have any like fears about anything starting up? Did you feel like it was going to be something for you? Because when I first started out and got up and going with the training, I was obviously similar to yourself. I was just trading like, so I was like, fuck, I don't even know if this is actually for me, even when I got up and going. Because I fuck,
Yeah.
this is pretty intense. Like I wasn't very good with new words or nothing. So
Yeah.
what was your thought process when you got up and going with everything?
Oh man, I thought, of course, I was I was skeptical, man. I was going against everything I've been told throughout my life. I've been told to either go to college or do an apprenticeship, work really hard and save up. I was doing the total opposite. I was jumping into something totally new as such. And like, of course, man, I was skeptical, but then I realized, look. I have the tools. It's worked. It's worked for other people. It's worked for, yourself and the other guys in the academy. So I said, man, what's the difference between me and them realistically? There isn't a whole pile. Yeah, you're from England, I'm Irish. But with that lad, I said if I have the tools and they could do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah. And when you got up and going, because a lot of people say to me, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't like, how do I fit this around my work?" Like, were you working full time at one point while doing this? And then you were or did you just bite the bullet and go straight in?
Oh man, I was working for the first what 4 or 5 months of actually learning the skills. So it was just a case of it was a case of start work, get up early, do a couple hours on the modules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go to work eight to five, be home for about half five, 6 o'clock. And man, I went for a shower, ate my food, and from 7 to 11 every night, I just kind of put the head down and was grinding. Yeah, I slacked off in the gym, I won't lie. I never really played sports, it was never my thing as such, so I didn't lose that. But the gym, it had to take a back foot for a couple of months, so that I could put myself in that better position.
Yeah. And even with that kind of like hectic schedule, even for a lot of lads, I feel like they think it's going to be easy. They think it's going to be like a piece of piss, really. But you obviously, like you were saying, from fucking 7 to 11 every night.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to transition out with, doing that 4 hours of work outside of work?
Yeah, good question, man. Good question. So I mean, basically the first month and a half I hit it with all I had and basically, I kind of almost burnt myself out as such, if that makes sense. So kind of I took what 2 to 3 weeks off. I didn't even open my laptop, man.
Right.
So I mean, what was that? That was kind of month three. I started up again, man. By month four, I was kind of, I was earning as such. And the end of month four, I left my job. I handed my notice in.
Yeah. Because like for you to obviously take that dip, because even for me, I did that as well. I was like, fuck, I kind of lost motivation, so to say. Obviously took that little dip. How did you come back from that? And then you seen the success. Like a lot of people might just be like, oh fuck, this isn't for me. Boom,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try anymore. How did you come back from that?
Good question. Like, good question. I suppose I seen that the likes of yourself still posting content, still job making money, and I said, look, I'm going to give it like, well, what do I have to lose? I'm already here. I have the tools. What do I have to lose? I'm going to get back up and stop being a bitch, basically, and get back to work.
Yeah, no, 100%. And even like for you now, what's your schedule looking like, day to day? Have you got time for the gym? Have you got time to do things that you want now, or are you still just going mental with it?
Oh no, man, of course. I mean, like, I'm getting up early, basically. I'm doing maybe 1 to 2 hours on the laptop of work, right? I go for my breakfast, I do my gym session in the morning. I mean, if the weather is good, I'll go for a swim in the local river. If not, I'll go down to the local swimming pool, go for a swim, do a sauna. I come back then, man, I kind of do maybe 4 to 5 hours of deep work, deep concentration, not on my phone, not doing anything else. I take an hour off, I eat again, and then I spend another maybe 2 to 3 hours of deep work. And I mean, man, I'll either go out, spend time with my friends, I'll go out and get some food or something, then go out for dinner, or I'll just go to sleep early, one or the other.
Yeah, yeah. So before you were working, like, well, how many hours a day? And then on top, like, what was your actual day-to-day hours before?
So eight to five, right?
Yeah.
There were the hours I was working. And then, but man, of course, you'd be up 6:30, 7 o'clock, so that you can be on site on time, and kind of an hour drive back home then with traffic and all that. So 6 o'clock really. So, and it was basically 7 to 6.
Yeah. So you literally, yeah, like before you'd be working 11 hours a day, you'd have that little period where you got get home from work or whatever, and then you're doing 4 hours on top. Because I want lads to know, like, when they're starting out, there's gonna be this period where it's like you're gonna have to sacrifice some sort of
Exactly.
time and maybe a bit of social life, even a bit of sleep. But
Yeah, yeah,
it's only for a short period of time you can actually just get out of it. It's just getting through that period, isn't it? Obviously,
exactly.
obviously for you going up and down and then finding success with it after a few months. With your life now, like, do your friends speak to you about this? Like, what's their questions on this? Because for me, no one really believed in what I was doing when I started. And then people started asking questions later when I got results. Like, is that being kind of a similar thing for you or?
Exactly, man. I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't tell my whole friend group. I told kind of one or two of my close buddies, right? And I said, look, don't ask me any more about it. You'll see if something happens, you'll see the results of it as such. So, man, about what, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, they started seeing the results. I told them I handed my notice in. So them two friends, they knew instantly, and I kind of told the rest of my friends, and yeah, you know, they love to hear about the results and stuff like that, but what they didn't see was the work that went into to actually get them results.
100%. Yeah, I think yeah, it's that weird limbo period where no one really believes in what you're doing, but you have to put the work in to get the results. Like, and some people can get in their own heads with this. Like
Yeah,
my family, friends, similar to, yeah, I didn't really want to tell anyone like yourself because I was like, I don't want people to get in my head.
yeah, yeah.
But I think a large reason why people don't get up and going with this is because of what other people think, especially in Ireland, in the UK, like even let's say you did tell all your mates, told your family, like what would you think they would have said, when you literally invest in yourself and got up and going with this?
Oh man, they would have shut it down straight away. They would have shut it down straight away because I mean, they wouldn't have known the first thing about it, as such. So like, yeah, maybe they're just trying to look out for me or whatever, but it's kind of a decision you have to make yourself, right? It's like, I know everything about the academy. I know everything about remote closing. I can see the potential in it, so it's my choice to make it. So to be unfair to kind of ask their opinion on it.
Yeah. Even like, because you can talk about the money or whatever. Obviously, I know you've been earning decent money recently, especially. Even like for you outside of that, like how's it kind of impacted your life? Are you happier? Like, what's that kind of looking like?
Lad, 100% as well. I mean, I'm back in the gym. I'm eating clean, I'm eating regular. There's no more deli food, there's no more job shitty packed lunches. I'm eating freshly cooked meals every day, and good quality meals on top of it. And man, I'm waking up in the mornings, I'm fresh, like I'm not sore, my back isn't sore, my knees aren't sore. And I'm doing the things I enjoy, going for swims in the local river, man. Who wouldn't want to do that?
That's the one thing I fucking love is like going to the gym on off hours, just having that privilege.
Yeah,
Even
yeah, yeah.
even for you now, like let's say you didn't get up and going with this at all, didn't look into it, you didn't decide to bet on yourself like that. Where would you be now, do you think?
Oh man. No, like more than likely I'd still be on the site, to be honest with you. I'd still be kind of looking for that way out, still hopping from job to job, trying to actually settle on something, and trying to figure out like what is actually for me, what's my life destined for?
Yeah. Because like that thought process you've just said there, I think literally 99% of lads in the trades are in that thought process. What would be your advice to someone who's thinking like that at the moment? What would you say to them?
Yeah, good question. I guess find, figure out whether the trades actually are for you, because they might just be in the wrong trade altogether, but we'll say, they might be in a carpentry apprenticeship, they might actually enjoy electricianing. So figure out whether the trades actually are for you. If they're not, man, start looking elsewhere. And the next place, I guess, is, the online space, unless you want to go to university, of course. But
Yeah,
man, it was the trades, university, or the online space. That's kind of the options we have now.
definitely. Yeah, I think I've actually been thinking about this recently. Like, how would you know if the trades are for you? Do you think? Because for a long time, I was going from trade to trade. Like,
Hmm.
how do you know? Do you know what I mean? Because I always think when someone says to me, I don't mind my job, but like I don't see myself doing it long term. It doesn't
Yeah.
really make sense, does it? Do you know what I mean? Like, how would you even know if the trades are for you, do you think?
If you can't see yourself doing it long term, man, if you don't truly love what you're doing, if you're not excited to wake up every morning, and say, look, if my life is amazing, like I'm happy I'm living this life today, if that isn't how you wake up in the morning, the trades aren't for you, simple as.
100%. Well, look, I'll wrap it up with this last question. Look, what's the next step for you, do you think? Where do you see yourself in the future? I don't expect you to have all of it planned out, but obviously you've found something, your vehicle, that's got you out of the trades, it's given you a better lifestyle. Like, where do you actually see yourself in the future?
Man, the close future, the next 6 months, I'm moving out of Ireland. I'm after Christmas planning, man. January of 26. So when I move to Southeast Asia somewhere, I'm going to scale from there, man. I 20, 30K a month from Southeast Asia, and to be honest, lads, either spend the rest of my days there, or I don't think I'll ever live back in Ireland. I'll never live here permanently. I'll come and visit, don't get me wrong, but I'll never live here permanently ever again.
100%. I think that's most people's goals, isn't it? It's like get to Southeast Asia. You need to come to Vietnam. Vietnam is the
Yeah.
fucking place. Like, especially if you when you want to scale and stuff. Obviously, it's cheap and stuff here, but you can really have that lifestyle. Like, but look, Nikita, it was good speaking to you. I'm excited to see you smash it in the future as well. But yeah, I'll catch up with you soon.
I appreciate it.